Tell me what's the real business behind that, because at the end of the day, right, people think, man, there's a disconnect. They would never imagine that somebody in the entertainment industry would be on JPay.
Well, I'm on JPay because I have relatives that are incarcerated. So I use JPay to send them money, and it's quick and it's easy, and it allows them to be able to get stuff from the commissary, because when you're on lockdown, a lot of times, even the Bible says we're supposed to look out for people who are incarcerated and that. So my thing is, I look to the people who are incarcerated because they have so many great stories to tell. And for Hollywood, a person who is incarcerated, all of the stuff that you've been through, if you're looking for a way out when you get out, write your stories. You have all the time in the world to write your stories. You ain't got nothing but time. And they have the best stories. And all people who are incarcerated, I'm saying to you right now, there is life after. I have my cousin, okay, Mark. He was incarcerated.
Right.
And he's gotten out. And what he has done is turn his life around. And every single body and every single thing he's tried to do since has been to correct all the mistakes that he's made with up and coming youth. And what I think needs to be done in Charlotte is people need to pick up and assist him in that. Because when incarcerated guys come out and they have this knowledge and they have the best knowledge of what it's like when you mess up. So they can go out and tell these kids and preach to these kids, and he's out trying to do all of these things for the community, but he's not getting any help. And I told him that the reason you're not getting any help is because they don't know that you're doing it. So we got to support these different, like GE Films, that's the name of his company, and he has me here, and he's trying to do all of these different things to uplift the community and uplift individuals, and the key is to back and support those people who are doing that, not people who are coming out and trying to exploit the community, because we have too many of those.
That's right.
You know, and he's looking out for those people as well. So I'm backing him because I see what his vision of straightening out and helping the youth. He got so many. He was like, dude, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, dude, does anybody in Charlotte in any form of authority know that you're really trying to do this? Does anybody in authority know what you're trying to do? But he doesn't know anybody in authority to get them to notice what he's doing.
So let me ask you this right here. When you talk about working with filmmaker Marcus Massey, who is incarcerated and has a notorious reputation, right? But he has broken into the industry. Describe, one, your relationship with Marcus, and two, what advice would you give to other people to become the next Marcus?
I think you should just rewind this tape, put that right before what I just said. but my thing is this. A lot of times, like I said, I have relatives who are incarcerated,
right.
And when they get out, they find it hard to get jobs. People looking at them sideways. But there are people who come out of incarceration with actually the best person to hire. They're the best person to go to for advice, and they're the best person to go to lead communities who are struggling because they've been through the fire.
Right.
And they can. It's hard for me to go out and tell a kid, listen, if you do this, you go to jail. Listen, I don't know nothing about jail. I don't know nothing about incarceration. I can't tell them about the hardships of it. But if you got somebody who's notorious, who's come out, who's been where you think you're trying to go, you trying to become notorious or whatever it is, and they've been through the fire and they've come out and they're saying, listen, brother, I've been there and I'm going to teach you a better way. There are so many, all these young kids out here are shooting and killing around in Charlotte. Listen, if you, in Hollywood right now, they got 5 little white girls. And they're running around coming up with, sitting in a room and coming up with ideas. Okay, and you say this in this scene. If you got these, I know there's 4 or 5 brothers I see you walking around.
That's
you
right.
guys have stories. All you got to do is sit down. The only difference between you and a writer is he writes.
That's right.
Period.
He put it on paper.
They say, all you guys can sit down and say, okay, what if we do this? It's 5 you guys could come up with the greatest story. I left North Carolina with 3 bologna sandwiches. I lived in the streets downtown LA. I woke up every morning with lice on me. Had to go down to the mission. I had to get sprayed for poison. I had nothing to eat for days. Every day my gum would hurt because they said I had malnutrition, so I couldn't close my mouth because my lips touched my gum, it would hurt. Every minute I eating off the trash. If I saw something that somebody hadn't touched, I would still eat it. But even all of that, I knew I was going to be where I am today. I don't care, but you have to want something better for yourself. Now, I could have stayed home in Wilson, North Carolina, where I'm from, and become a multi-millionaire gangster if I wanted to.
That's right.
But that's not the life. Gangster, you ain't never seen an old gangster. The only time you seen an old gangster is when they've been through the fire and they come out and they're reformed. So what he's trying to do is reform a neighborhood from the experiences and the pitfalls that he's been through. And those are the people you have to support. Those are the people the police have to support. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter where you're from. It only matters where you are and where you can go. Period.
Now we're going to wrap this thing up with, I want you to let these individuals know who you really are as a person, because there's a lot of people who have seen you in the movie and said, man, I know that's Juwanna, man. And they done seen all the movies that you done, right? But when you think about the roles that you have played, and then like what you shared with me, coming from a family of 15, how you done overcome all those obstacles, defied all odds, that's the message that I really want you to leave to these prisoners that will see this video, right? Listen
to me. I was the same thing. I was a prisoner of poverty. You might be on lockdown. I promise you, if I got 10, 15, 20, 30 years, I'm going to come out and I'm going to take that. I'm going to come out with 5 of the best freaking ideas ever in the history of it. Has anybody ever seen a TV series about a jail? It's waiting. It's sitting there waiting for somebody to come up with it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. It doesn't matter where you've been. I was the lowest you can possibly get. I was lower than homeless because every step I took in any direction, I was lost. And I was 17, and I was pretty much 14 because of my naivety when I left here in North Carolina. But it's the same thing as being in prison. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you get out, it's the first day of the rest of your life. And if you take that and just put your past behind you and go forward in a positive way, and you get the community behind you, and you guys get out, get in touch with Mark. Get in touch with Mark and G Films. They're always doing something to help people to come out to better themselves and take a step forward. Because I'm telling you, the best force is if you can get incarcerated men, a group of incarcerated men, to come out to mentor these neighborhoods, all these knuckleheads are running around here shooting and killing and doing all this ignorance for no reason whatsoever. Turf. It makes no sense whatsoever. All of you guys, take 5 of you gang members, 5 of you, whatever you guys in the neighborhood doing this, and 5 of you guys sit down for about 4 months and come up with this little great story about you little 5 dudes and get it to Mark Massey. He may even shoot it. Start doing something positive. Instead of running around, you guys could be in a room somewhere by yourself all night long, laughing and joking, doing what you do, and coming up with ideas. Okay, what about this scene? Ah, ha, 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 ha. And that's how it starts. But it don't start riding around and doing nothing. But that's one of the things that I like about what Mark Massey and G Films are doing. They're really, really trying to change the culture of the neighborhood. You know, that's the key. And I just want this city, and hopefully Charlene can get elected, and she can be a part of this incredible team to rebuild this social fabric of the urban Charlotte.
So y'all heard it straight from the man himself. This is our legend, Miguel Nunez Jr. We love you, man.
All right, God
Appreciate
bless
you,
you,
brother.
You got it.
That's good.